Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for February 1st to the 7th of 2026. Now, I've been talking all of January about doing the Gate of Power on the 1st, but that has been changed to Saturday the 7th. Fire ceremony in my backyard, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's for the Aquarius Gate of Power, which is technically on the 3rd, so we're going to talk about the season itself in a minute. And, of course, during that gathering, we talk about the energetic support for the next 6 weeks. We have a community reading, and everyone who donates receives their own personal seasonal reading. And we have divinations, and then it's just fun community time. Weather permitting, I'm usually outside. The other big deal about this February 7th gathering is it's setting the tone energetically to prepare us for our Sacred Crafts Night on Wednesday, February 11th, 6 to 9 Eastern. That's only $99. That includes your starter craft kit. But we're getting down to the wire. That's 10 days away from February 1st, and I need time to get it in the mail. So I'm hoping you all will register early for this one so that we can take care of that and be together and have some fun. The other wonderful thing about our February 1st is the Leo full moon. Now remember, we're in the process of full moon preceding the new moon. So we clear and release things first so that we can plant seeds clean and brand new and ready for the new. So the Leo full moon sheds light on the disparities between your true self, the image you hold of yourself, and how others perceive you. It serves as an annual self-esteem check-in, exposing any issues with self-love, self-value, and self-worth, revealing your tendency to function from an external viewpoint rather than an internal one. This luminary event might uncover unchecked ego patterns or neglected childhood wounds, which could manifest as inner unrest or personal dissatisfaction. Rediscovering the art of play, a fundamental aspect of being human, often forgotten due to societal conditioning, is essential. That's really how we learn, y'all. We are supposed to be playing through this life, not working through this life. Integrating joy and playfulness into daily life becomes a joyous exploration during the full moon energies. It invites you to experiment with creative ideas, envision potential evolutions of yourself over the next 6 to 12 months, and consider the role you play within your chosen community. Where can you best radiate your essence and share your light moving forward? Each year, this phase allows for the release of negative patterns and outdated aspects of self, making space for a new, evolved version of you to emerge and positively impact the world. It is a moment to embrace what you love and let go of anything incongruent with your genuine self, allowing your authentic essence to shine brilliantly. This purging process brings a lighter heart and reconnects you to a revitalized vision for the future. I love the Leo full moon. I'm also going to say its counterpart new beginning is an Aquarius new moon solar eclipse. It's the first of 5 on the Leo Aquarius axis. So this is the kickoff to a new eclipse series coming in, and later in the year, the node is going to shift from Pisces to Aquarius. So the focus of our life path and direction on the social collective level is going to get activated like that. But if you personally have a North Node in Leo or Aquarius or Taurus or Scorpio, this is the kickoff for my fixed babies to start changing things up. So this full moon, really pay attention to where the light shines. And for those of you who do know your chart by degrees, 13 degrees Leo is where it's shining. And then February 3rd, Uranus goes direct in Taurus, and it'll be there till April 25th when it permanently moves into Gemini. So this is for real, the last hurrah of Uranus and Taurus, waking things up at the end of your Taurus zone. And going direct means that we've just completed this year's annual Uranus retrograde, and for the final time in Taurus. The personal planets will interact with Uranus every year, so we can consciously co-create with them. That work has been in the Taurus department for the last 7 years, and now that is shifting to Gemini. Every year's annual retrograde is a special time to assimilate the changes you've been going through. Uranus is a collective planet and so affects many people and takes 7 years to accomplish its mission in each sign. During 2018 to 26, it has been in the process of awakening the Taurus house or area of life and stimulating any of your planets in Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo, Aquarius by default. The last 4 to 5 months have revealed what aspect of your life needs the most awakening and or vitality. It will be an annual process that you can consciously co-create with if you're paying attention. To do that awakening process is what I mean. Uranus wakes up and shakes up our routine with a sudden shock of some sort, and it's up to you to not fall back asleep or back into old patterns. There's a shift in the values and priorities that support the newly awakened emergent self and how that works on the ground, in your body, on the earth, in real time. So use this annual energy to wake up dormant resources within you and learn how your electromagnetic field really works. It takes conscious practice and dedicated focus when working with your own power and magnetic field. We are cultivating a whole new way of living in our bodies and on the planet. And Uranus had to wake us up to what's really important, because Taurus also rules our essential needs, food, sex, and money, and how we function in real time in our bodies. It's an earth sign. And we've had to adjust our bodies to all this Uranus technology that's going on. This is, we're a good 30 to 40 years into this being, let's say, in every household, right? Used to be special and a luxury to have these technological advances in the home. Now they're everyday stuff. So we're seeing how every day for 30 or 40 years, the effects on our physical body. Now, the beauty of that recalibration is that when it goes into Gemini, hopefully we will have changed enough things in our bodies that we can handle the higher frequency of an air sign as it moves through Gemini and technology really takes off and goes to a whole new level of its own that can only happens every 84 years. So think post-depression era, the 30s and 40s when things started. That's when the technology hit the homes. And here we are on the backside of that. So it's pretty big. This is a big shift. And the last thing I'll say about that is how the fixed energies are hard to change. They take longer to change, but once they change, it's permanent. So this has hopefully been chipping away at any kind of stuck, crusty, limited energy that anybody's been feeling lately. And opening up so that you can lighten up and flow through that Gemini energy a little easier. The third is also our official gate of power. Like I said, we're going to gather on Sunday the 1st, but the third is on Tuesday. So this shift of the wheel, our Aquarius gate of power is essentially the midpoint between winter and spring. So this is our course correcting time and our check-in time to make sure that whatever we're conceiving or perceiving as what we should follow for this year is awakening, which is what happens at this turn of the wheel, is that first little spark. So let's think of winter solstice as the conception point where the seed is fertilized. At February gate, it starts stirring. At spring equinox, it pops, but it's still super fragile till we get to the May gate when it gets stronger. And hopefully by June solstice, we're 6 months from winter solstice and it's in its full blossom, or let's say full potential. Right? So this could apply to your creative babies, your own self. I'm working on a lot of personal health and stuff over here, as many of you know. I just found out my time limit is about 9 months. So it's a baby I'm about to have by the end of 2026. And that baby is me. So this is our time to spark that awakening of whatever you want to feed and nurture and develop for the new year. Aquarius, of course, ruled by Uranus, means it's a time of change. We're also, like I said, moving into eclipse season, which also brings change. And we talk about eclipses as destiny, choice, and chance. It's all mixed up in how the eclipses affect us. Part of it's destiny. It's part of your life path and direction. Part of it is your choices, free will and choice. And then part of it is the chance experiences or events or, things that happen along the way that may or may not have been really possible, but they happened for you. So we're locking in that change is good, but we want to consciously choose to change what we want to change and not have change imposed upon us, right? Nobody likes that. And especially Aquarius wants to be free. But you've got to define that for yourself because especially in America, you're born with a number. You're part of this corporation. Freedom is relative. So we got to define our own terms within this container, at least as Americans. But here's where we activate those new hopes and dreams for what's possible. We are ending a lot of old energy. Eras are over, okay? Big, huge cycles are over. We're in very new territory, especially 2026 activates some pretty literal on the ground for us personally and socially. New day, new day. So let's look at it that way and try to find the best possible outcomes for these hopes and dreams. Expand your perspective, look at things from another angle. Like I said, your definition of freedom is up. So how much do you absolutely need, and how much security and safety and social interaction do you need? Because Aquarius is very independent too. So how much can you do for yourself, and how much do you actually need others for? So that is where we're meditating this month. Independence and leadership, I've been already tapping into. It's definitely a new beginning and clean slate. We're healing our self-love issues, as I touched on in the Leo full moon. We're acknowledging this turning point and this midpoint between the seasons. It is time for a complete rebirth, new life, and a revitalized image, how you present yourself. Trying new and innovative ways for living. So like I said, we got to upgrade, we got to change, we got to stick and move with this technology. We got to hold our boundaries so that we don't blow our circuits. There's a lot going on. So as we have no choice in trying new things, you might as well make these new things serve you. Your unique contribution to the community. This is where we sort of birth that. What are you going to offer this year? How are you going to offer it, and to whom? I'm kind of coasting, y'all. I would love to expand, but it's not time for that for me. Saturn's got his foot in my ass, and I'm on the ground right now doing things in real time. But I'm also developing. My creative babies are the new tools and classes and things that I will offer by the end of the year or come the new year. So I'm nurturing those things even as I rewire myself and my body. I am also laying a whole new foundation for the work because I'm at a 30-year mark with my work as well. Using the sacred season to rest, replenish, and ruminate. Okay, we're still in winter, technically, in this hemisphere. And of course, inspiring fiery creativity, new projects, or infusion of energy into old projects. That's what this gate is good for. Now, it's called many things in many traditions. All of my earth-based belief systems operate from the four elements, the four seasons, nature, right? Imbolc, Candlemas, cross quarter, Aquarius, gate of power. We are at the second of 8 sacred seasons, inviting the renewal of the light. The light is returning. The days are getting longer and the nights are getting shorter. Cross quarters are considered the gates of power, the in-between, the midpoint between the solstices and equinoxes. In agriculture, this is called the sweet spot. It's the thin membrane between seed and new life. This particular one inspires a purification through fire and water that will help you prepare space for new energy to flow through. This is the season that you commit to the process of nurturing the intentions that you set for the new year around winter solstice. Also, in order to create anew, often sacrifices, choices, and changes must be made. So we're completely supported for that. So sacrifices, choices, and changes, and we're supported by the eclipses and everything else going on this month. And we got some big alignments in February. So everything is preparing you for the evolution, for the next, or we should say the revolution, the next level that we're all moving to, individually, socially, and collectively. This time of the year also coincides with several celebrations when many cultures give up something cherished in an effort to cleanse, clean, and clear a space for renewed growth within your being and your environment. This is about clearing a space for the new to come in. You should prepare as if it has already arrived. This season will culminate in 6 months in August with the Leo gate of power, cross quarter, and what's called Lammas. So what would you like to express or create by then? What are you willing to give up to further your goals? What are you willing to fight for in order to preserve or protect it? What relationships are you cultivating at this time? Okay, these are the questions to consider. Pull your cards, talk to your spirit team, go into meditation, and join us on the 1st for the fire ceremony and the community divinations. Now we jump to Thursday the 5th when Mercury will square Uranus. This is Aquarius to Taurus, 29 degrees, the end for both of them before they move into new zones that are both important. So this is interesting, y'all. We really have to change something in our thinking and consciousness in order to elevate. But in general, this happens a lot. Mercury's pretty buzzing around all the time, and every once in a while clocks Uranus. This energy presents a challenge by urging you to broaden your consciousness, prompting a shift in your thinking or thought patterns, and encouraging new and different responses to information as it is presented. Uranus triggers sudden realizations, personal revelations, and revolutionary concepts. Ideal for adventurous souls who tend to thrive on change and innovation. However, if you are deeply attached to routines and the predictability of plans, this energy might cause frustration, taxing your nervous system as things appear sudden, even though they have more likely been simmering beneath the surface for some time now. Flexibility and openness become crucial, requiring an adjustment to accommodate the heightened mental activity and information influx. Okay, so we're accommodating because controlling it entirely might prove challenging. Consider recalibrating your personal filters by spending time in nature, allowing yourself to process thoughts at your own pace and clear your mind. This period fosters immense inspiration, innovation, and creativity, thanks to Uranus, encouraging you to tap into these energies. Yet be mindful that anything initiated now may need a review later, prompting a meticulous examination of the details of any revelations or creations. You are merely scratching the surface. This phase emphasizes revelation and awakening, eventually leading to the practical logistics and effective actions required to materialize your ideas, dreams, and vision. Okay, so what I'm seeing for this is that it's a little bit of a wake-up call right before Mercury goes into Pisces, where it's going to retrograde. Now, the beauty of it waking you up and then putting you back to sleep to go dream is an interesting little back-to-back combo here. What I'm thinking is where we should look at that fixed energy of Mercury in Aquarius, where we lock in mentally some kind of way that's maybe not good for us right now. And Uranus wants to break to realign that. And Uranus in Taurus means it could be in your body and essential needs. And this is the basic place where you need to change up. I've heard a few messages in the ethers, but taking control of your diet and exercise is something you can do. It's not, like I always say, healing, education, and soul work are the three things that you have to do for yourself. So generally, my little quote says it's the purest form of self-love. And this is the month to be thinking about that. How do you handle your healing processes? And how do you handle your learning processes? And how do you handle your soul work processes? We're moving into a lot of fire and air energy, which is going to have us in these mental realms. And at the same time, we're learning how to move through or let's say navigate this new life, this new energy, this new earth, these new protocols that are coming down to help us survive and help us thrive, hopefully, and prosper, but not if we don't change. If you hold on to the old or to the past, you're going to get ripped apart. So choose it. Don't wait for the universe to choose for you. Now, Mercury is going to be in Pisces all of February, all of March, all the way to April 14th. And we say that in Pisces, Mercury activates our imaginations for better or worse. Remember that using your imagination to imagine the worst case scenarios is a poor use of this powerful gift. The imagination is another way that your soul talks to you. And when anything is moving through Pisces, especially the messenger, who naturally moves so freely between realms, we have access to some potent creativity and new visions for the future. Take advantage of this energy to clarify what new vision you want to step into as we approach the first retrograde of the new year, when you will have to pause, reflect, and rethink things in your Pisces house or area of life. If you imagine doom and gloom, it is more likely to manifest. If you imagine breakthroughs with relationships and resources, then you will create more of that. This time in Pisces is going to have its own additional caveats. Your intuition and imagination will be involved, so try to connect fluid language with vivid imagery the Pisces way. Keep in mind, nothing is linear or logical about Mercury in Pisces. This is all spirit or otherworldly. So any spiritual healing work is tremendously supported by this energy. Check in with your own beliefs, dreams, and fears, and make time to be in nature under the sky. That always gives the monkey mind a break. But especially during Pisces time each year, we are supposed to be dreaming up the action plan that we will execute and embody once Mercury moves through its retrograde and into Aries. And don't forget, the best thing about this energy is that it is totally easier to commune with your angels, ancestors, orishas, and animal spirit guides when the planet of communication is in the sign of other realms. Imagination, creativity, dreams, and mysticism. It's the best time for divinations and consulting with your personal counsel to find out what will be supported throughout the rest of this year. One final note, this is a really good time to recalibrate your mental boundaries, meaning watch your input and output levels and bring your mental health back into balance, especially before a retrograde that is going to ask you to rewire what you are dreaming into existence. So again, whatever you focus on grows and manifests. And that's our week. I gotta tell you, February may be a short month, but it is energetically packed, pivotal, and transformative. So we want to pay attention at every step is kind of leading us to the next thing. And if you're looking for upcoming events or relevant reflections, be sure to check out that February monthly missive. That's where you can often find everything that I discuss in my forecast. You can also find it on my blog anytime you are looking for links or something specific. So I hope you will join us. The only events I'm doing are February 1st and 11th, and then of course the regular Venus circle on the 12th. So join us when and where you can. Reach out directly. It's still the beginning of the year for anyone that wants to get their reading or check in with their cycles or lay out your plan for the new year. I'm happy to help. Otherwise, have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you soon. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.